it's Amber and welcome to day 2 of ACOWAR week. I am super excited for today's video because today I'm going to be fan casting the characters from A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury, which needless to say was very hard to do because certain characters I picture in my head in a certain way and it's hard to translate that to a real life person. You guys will know what I'm talking about once I get into it, but let's just get straight into the fan casting because I'm super excited to tell you guys who I came up with. So first off, I'm going to be casting Feyre, who was hard for me to cast, and I'm still not 100% happy with the casting that I chose for Feyre, but I don't know, I feel like Feyre's kind of a hard person to portray. It was hard for me to figure out what actor would do a good job of bringing Feyre to life. But I think I found some people that are good actors and also kind of remind me of Feyre that I would be happy seeing if there was an adaptation of it. So the first actress that I found for Feyre is Poppy Drayton, and if you didn't know who Poppy Drayton is, she was in the Shannara Chronicles, and she looks a bit like Feyre to me, but not 100%, like it's not all the way there. I do like her though, and I think that she would be a good Feyre because watching her in the Shannara Chronicles, and it's kind of set in a similar like fantasy type world, so seeing her doing something like that kind of made me think that she would be a good Feyre. So I picked her, and then I also was looking at Teresa Palmer, who is in Warm Bodies, which is one of my favorite movies, and I really love her as an actress, and she also does direct some things, so I feel like that she would be good too, but I don't feel like either of them really get the image that I'm looking for Feyre, but they are close enough that I would be happy seeing both of them in an adaptation. Then Tamlin, I didn't have as much trouble casting Tamlin, but it was a little hard to cast him. I found a couple guys that I think would be good. I pictured Tamlin really like buff and like broody, so I was thinking possibly Chris Hemsworth would be a good Tamlin. We know he's a good actor, he's been in a lot of things, and I think that he would do a good job with whatever role he plays, and I think that he looks the part as well. Like, I feel like he could really pull off that character, so I feel like he'd be a good Tamlin. Rhys was so difficult for me to figure out who I liked as him, and neither of these people that I picked like would fully 100% satisfy my image of Rhys, and I don't think any actor really could pull off Rhys the way that I picture him, because Rhys is just so perfect that he just cannot be formed into a living human on this earth. Like, he's a fairy and he's a high lord, and he's just so perfect that I just don't think that there's an actor out there that could possibly pull him off. So these two people, one of them is Ian Somerhalder, who I've seen in a role very similar to Rhys. He's played Damon on The Vampire Diaries, and I think that he would be really good at the acting part of Rhys because he not only looks kind of the part, he is not exactly how I picture Rhys in my head, but he's kind of close, like he has the same features and stuff like that. But he also plays Damon, who is very similar to Rhys, and I think that he would do a really good job as Rhys, and I would be very happy to see him in that role. And then another person that I found was Matthias Inwood, who is also in Shannara Chronicles, and he plays Amberly's boyfriend, who is the girl that I casted for Feyre. Just look at this picture of them together, like it kind of really reminds me of Rhys and Feyre, so that's why I chose him. He looks more like Rhys than Ian does, in my opinion. And I think, I don't know if acting wise he could pull it off. I haven't seen him in anything else other than Shannara Chronicles. If you could like mesh him and Ian Somerhalder into one person, I think that you would get a pretty good Rhys. Next, I'm going to cast Lucien, and for Lucien, I was thinking of Eddie Redmayne. I think that he would be really good as Lucien. He's played a bunch of different roles. He's been in Les Mis, Fantastic Beasts. I think that he would be good, and he's a great actor, so I think that he could pull off Lucien, and I think that he would do a good job. He doesn't look like I picture Lucien 100%, but I think acting-wise he could do Lucien justice, and I think that he would be really good. Elaine was one of the other characters that I had a lot of trouble casting, and I found this girl, and her name is Gabriella Wilde. This actress would do a good job as Elaine. She has soft features. I haven't seen her in anything, but in this picture she looks like how I kind of picture Elaine, so I think that she'd do a good job. I just don't know how she is as an actor, but looks-wise, I think that she would do well as Elaine. Next is Nesta, and this is one of my favorite castings. I didn't have a lot of trouble with Nesta, like a bunch of people started popping in my head, but the one that I really think would be perfect is Natalie Dormer. Natalie Dormer is in The Hunger Games, and she's also in Game of Thrones, and she would be perfect as Nesta. She has that like snarky look about her, but she's also gorgeous, which is how Nesta is described, and she can play that sort of character so perfectly, and she does it on Game of Thrones, and I just think that she would be so good as Nesta. Next, I'm casting Amren, who wasn't that hard for me to cast either. Immediately, I thought of Katie McGrath from Merlin, which is one of my favorite TV shows. She plays Morgana in Merlin, and I think that she would be perfect as Amren. She has that kind of look about her, and I could just picture her with her hair short. And her character on Merlin changes a lot throughout the series, and she can do like a soft, loving character and also more of a hard and like determined character, which is what Amren is, and we don't really see Amren's soft side a lot, but she can do both, so if we needed both things from her, then she could do that. And I've seen her in a couple other things as well, and she's been amazing in all of them, so I think that she would be really great as Amren. And then another person that I saw for Amren was Phoebe Tonkin, and I think that she'd also be really good. She kind of looks like Amren in her facial structure and everything like that, and I've also seen her in a bunch. She was in H2O in the originals, so I think that she would be a good choice for Amren as well. Next is Morrigan, or Moore, and I love her so much. She's one of my favorite characters in the series and one of my favorites out of the inner circle. I love her. So Moore is kind of just like a beauty queen. She's gorgeous, but she's also been through a lot and been through a lot of struggles. She needs to be vulnerable, but also like strong at the same time. So I was looking through people, and I came across Amber Heard, who I have not seen her in any show or movie or anything, but she just looks like she would make a great Moore. She has that sort of look to her that she has been through a lot, but she is still putting on a good face, and I think that she would be so good. I really haven't seen her in anything, so I don't know what kinds of parts she's acted before, but just the way that she looks, I just think that she would be really great as Moore, and she's very similar to the way that I picture Moore in my head, so I would love to see her as Moore, and I think that she is perfect. Next, I'm going to cast Amarantha, and the person that I would cast for her is someone that I just saw in the movie Interstellar, which was a very good movie, by the way. That would be Jessica Chastain, I think. I don't really know how you pronounce her name. I think that she could play a villain character out for revenge really well, so I can just picture her doing an amazing job at being Amarantha. So next, I'm going to cast Cassian, who was super hard for me to pick someone to play him, but I am going to go with Santiago Cabrera from Merlin. He plays Lancelot, and the feel of the show Merlin is kind of the feeling that I get from Cassian as a character. He's more of a light-hearted character, I guess, not 100%, like he's not a happy character by any means, but he is very snarky and he adds a lot of humor to the story. So I feel like Santiago would really be able to bring that out in Cassian if there was an adaptation. Then for Azriel, I picked this actor, and I completely forget his name, and I just saved the picture, but I forgot to write down the actor's name, so I'm gonna put it down here. I haven't really seen this actor in much like most of these actors, but I feel like he looks like I would picture Azriel. He was one of the harder ones to do, so I finally found this actor, and I'm just going to stick with it because I cannot find another actor that I feel like would be good. But that is it for my fan cast of A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. I am really happy with who I picked for all these parts, but I feel like for some of the characters in the book, there aren't really a lot of actors that could properly bring them to life, and they just kind of have to stay within the pages of the books. But I'm looking forward to seeing what other new characters we meet in A Court of Wings and Ruin. I hope that you guys enjoyed day 2 of A Court of Wings and Ruin week, and I hope that I'll see you guys all tomorrow for day 3, which is going to be the ACOTAR/ACOMAF book tag. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, because it really supports my channel, and you can also subscribe down below if you want to tune in for more of ACOWAR week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!